Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good thing you didn't randomize that address up there and stayed on SpeedGaming 4 because we have Fruitbatsalad versus Richman3mm in this quarterfinal match tournament for the Dash Rando. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I hope you're all as excited as I am for this match. Make sure while we're waiting on everything to start that y'all go follow those runners. Go ahead and follow our tracker there, Cassidy. Feel free to follow Metroid. If you're so inclined, you can follow me too, but I'm not the important one here by any means. All right, so it's looking like we have Scree, Gamut, Kago. So the double Kago seed. I don't know about y'all, but I'm hoping for a gravity and left sand pit type of match here today. Also, while we're waiting for the match to start, well, the match is about to start here, so I will talk about that later. The crowd control match. And our runners are off. We'll see which way they decide to go first. Looks like they're both deciding to go left. That seems like a pretty good option because if they try to go to the right, they're not going to get very far without any super missiles.
I'm a big fan of trying to go up. You got to get off the planet.
Ooh, try it. I mean, you're not wrong. That's the main goal of this, right? Is to blow up the planet and to leave it.
And welcome everybody. So Mako is currently going to be hopefully joining us soon, but in the meantime, I'm going to be filling in for this match with Poplars.
I'm certainly happy to have you here. It's pronounced Linares, correct?
Close enough.
Close enough. All right. So, what do you think we're going to find first?
Well, I'm assuming it's a reserve tank. Aw, it's just a morph ball.
Morph ball.
That's not a very useful item.
You know, morph ball is one of those items that you're not sure just how much you're gonna miss it until you don't have it.
There was one match I got to commentate and watch, which was area randomizer with late morph, and that's where the doors can take you all sorts of different places, and that was hilarious.
Yep, those are the types where you want to see morph early.
Well, no, as a viewer, I want to see morph ball behind Ridley. I don't think it can actually be there, but...
Right, so
our first actual item is bombs.
Very nice seeds. Yeah,
another seed with early bomb.
Yeah, this means we can see the Bomb Chorizo fight. Good old Bob Chorizo, as some people call him. Ooh, and Power Bomb's next. That's gonna be a really nice find.
We'll see if either of these runners decides to go through meme route. I think finding bombs early makes meme route more attractive because doing meme route, you want to go into wreck ship after meme route. And by finding bombs, you know you are guaranteed to be able to full clear the wreck ship even if it's not in logic yet.
That's a really good point. And it's looking like Richmond going back towards the elevator while FBS went to go pick up those missiles as well. I kind of got debated there. I thought we were going to see a couple of meme routes.
Yeah, with only 5 power bombs and no supers, it's not as common to do the meme route. You generally want another power bomb pack, because otherwise you may not be able to clear everything in Big Pink, and then you gotta farm, and it's just annoying. And there's those power bombs.
Power bombs.
What do you think of the ammo distribution in Dash? Definitely, it's been interesting to see just how many more power bombs the runners get and how fewer supers, and that really makes a big difference on how to play.
It does. I think that having fewer supers forces you to be a speedrunner. Like it doesn't make it so that you just get 30 missiles, go to Ridley, and super Ridley. As a viewer, I think it's amazing. As someone, if I run them, I personally want to have those supers. I'm not super. Both of them gonna go check on 230 here. Lisa needs braces.
Just some more missiles. The super hunt continues.
With the way they distribute the ammo, the one thing that I never thought I would miss would be more power bombs. 15, of course, being the magic number, but if you're sitting on 10 and needing to start those hell runs, or if you have gravity and want to go down to Lower Norfair and you don't have Varia, you're really going to want that extra power bomb pack.
Yep. And just an E-Tank at Bomb Terizo, who we get to see for the second match in a row. For all the people just joining us, this is a quarterfinal match for the Dash Randomizer Exhibition Tournament, a one-day tournament of all sorts of Super Metroid fun. So there'll be games on, I believe, for the next 9 hours.
Yeah, and as you saw there, a rarely seen attack by Bomb Terizo, unless you're playing casually. Bomb Terizo will actually fire a crescent-shaped beam at you if you have 5 missiles or more.
And of course, generally in a speedrun, we never get to be there with more than 5.
And neither runner gonna go do the gauntlet check. I like that call, but it's also like charge might be up there. I don't think suits can be up there in Dash, can it?
No, suits cannot.
Oh, yeah.
Suits cannot be in any item in green Brinstar, I believe. In criteria. They cannot be in criteria.
So then basically anything that's up in Gauntlet is going to be a quality of life item over...
But it could be logical access, like Speed Booster.
Absolutely.
And I also believe Pink Brinstar cannot have a suit. No, I think... No, Pink Brinstar can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, it definitely can. Because I do believe we saw Varia behind the wave earlier, did we not?
I believe we did. And our first item here, though, is X-Ray! And there's the super missiles they were hoping for.
X-Ray is going to be a really, really great early item to pick up here in Dash Seeds because you have that baby charge beam. So if they find Plasma, they're going to be able to do Microwave at 30% capacity.
Microwave with just Plasma, it's hilarious because you see it and you're expecting it to just immediately kill them, and it's just like on, off, on, off, on, off,
Yep.
on, off, on, off.
And before you know it, you're in a 3-round Dragon fight.
Actually, with the baby charge beam and just Plasma, you actually can't kill Dragon before the swoop finishes.
Oh, very, very nice reverse mock ball there by Richman. That is not easy to get.
No, and it's always so pretty, too. Ah, smart move to open up the door on the way down while the powerbomb animation's going on. Just another E-Tank at Edekun's.
like Richman skipping that item for now. I'm sure he'll pick it up on the way back. It's actually pretty easy.
Definitely don't want to let E-Tanks go this early when you don't know what hell runs are waiting for you.
And FBS is going to go ahead and not check on that miner. I certainly don't blame him.
I expect Rich to do the same. Although both runners avoiding the casual trap of the pit in the floor that you can't see. I definitely fell in that pit as a child.
I oddly knew it was there because it was like a regular Metroid kind of Easter egg almost.
I didn't play Metroid 1. Super Metroid was the reason I love this stuff. Super Metroid was actually the first video game I ever beat and played by myself.
That's impressive. And we're gonna have more power bombs here in Big Pink. Richmond going right into that wave gate room. And I saw the screen shake. I don't know if he got it though, as we can't hear his audio. Sometimes on that, you'll see the screen shake, but if you don't also hear the gate go up, then you know you didn't get it. Like there, we heard the gate with on FBS's screen.
Oh, hey, we got our first part of another suitless Meridia seed.
Let's go validating their runs.
Ah, yes, thank you, chat. So only Waterway is allowed to have a suit. Which is really interesting in Dash, because you can logic break it with Spazers super early if you happen to get it. But here we're getting Screw Attack, which I think any runner would love to have.
Absolutely. It's just going to make so much of this game so much easier. FBS going to go ahead and pick up another missile pack, bring him up to 30 missiles.
Always glad to see. Always glad to see the spring ball get used immediately. Rich having to farm for some supers though.
And now we'll see if he decides to go up or down. I would wager he can full clear wreck ship. But he's going to go ahead and decide to go down.
He wants to head down. We'll see what Fruit says.
The important thing to remember is even with bombs, though, if you go up there, you are still sequence breaking that reserve.
Exactly. But that's where if you are sequence breaking it, then like if it's Varia behind it and you're supposed to go all the way down to get speed booster and then back up, definitely it's a good sequence break.
Oh, absolutely. Both runners deciding to go down here.
Another reserve tank, 2 of 4, the best item in the game. So basically the only difference so far is Fruit's chosen to pick up a few extra miners. Do you happen to know which of these runners has the better any percent time, or are they about equal?
I actually don't know offhand. That's a really good question. I know they're both really, really good runners. I know FBS, I want to say
absolutely everyone in this tournament is amazing. I just always like looking at the any percent times because it's if you're the runner with the worst any percent time, then I'm expecting them to possibly take more gambles and see what else they're gonna.
I want to say FBS has a low to mid 47. I don't know what Richmond has. But despite their any percent times, like you definitely don't want to count either of them out.
Oh, absolutely not.
And Richmond starting the Kraid fight. We'll see if he decides to take Kraid to prom or to tell Kraid to sit down. Your dress was not good enough for me. And Richmond not saying yes to that dress, telling Kraid to sit down.
Looks like they both have a low to mid 46 minutes, so extremely fast, and expect them to be very equally matched mechanically.
I did not see what was there, but FBS starting his Kraid fight. He also tells Kraid to sit down. You are not wanted in this prom.
Oh, reserve tank number 3. Come on, it's the best item in the game. You gotta have all 4. Come on, Kip. What's a way that we can make reserve tanks better in Dash? I actually already think that Dash Randomizer incentivizes E-tanks and reserve tanks more.
That's gravity at the warehouse location.
Well, won't be at Left Sand Pit today.
Varia still could be.
So now we get to see the fun part of Dash of how much does the Varia hunt happen versus using Gravity's newfound... Oop, you can see Rich is thinking. Using Gravity's newfound heat resistance.
I bet FBS is breathing a sigh of relief. He knows I'm always calling for Gravity at Left Sand Pit.
So just to go over for people, if this is their first match of the Dash tournament, some of the primary changes that were made. Gravity now gives you 50% resistance to heat. Opens up the possibilities of lower Norfail hell runs and makes the other hell runs more easy. And then there's some cool changes to Bomb and Spazer as well.
Yes, where Spazer will get you through to Bot Wound as well as through Waterway, and Bombs will get you up into the Wreck Ship Reserve.
And then there are a number other of small logic changes, ammo redistribution, and speaking of, there's that Spazer. So Fruitbatsalad now has sequence break access to get through Bot Wound.
That was a very valiant attempt on that wall jump there by Richmond. And FBS having gone down here, I actually really like this call, mostly because it's route divergence, but also because having that gravity suit is going to allow him to perform these hell runs, as are those reserve tanks he picked up. And it's looking like Richmond just going straight up to Wreck Ship through Meridia. That's the play that I'm actually a real fan of, is when you have the ability to get to Wreck Ship through Meridia, you do that.
Because it's definitely faster to do it that way. But now Fruitbatsalad is going to go do the Waterway sequence break.
I think he's going back for the Sloter's refill here and is going to go back down for his heck runs after he gets it. But we will see which play he decides to make. If he goes to Waterway,
he has the ability to full clear Meridia. It'll be a little slow with only the Spazer Beam and the baby charge, but he certainly can. But it looks like he definitely called it right on the refill.
And Rich get that CWJ.
First try.
Gone. And yes, FBS going to go back down and complete those heck runs.
Richmond trying to X-ray through the door. Oh no! Fruit choosing to head into Meridia.
I got debated. It's looking like he's gonna go check on Mama Turtle. We will see if he decides to do a full clear here of Meridia. And Richmond about to start his Fantoon fight. Will not be able to microwave Fantoon as he does not have plasma. Very nice gravity jump by FBS. See if he can get these wall jumps. I think these wall jumps are pretty hard. Looking like he's going to go for just another gravity jump, though.
Yeah, just because you have gravity, getting through Meridia without grapple, without high jump, without space jump, it's still not an easy place to navigate around.
Especially without ice.
Does at least have Spring Ball.
And Spazer. Which I actually really like this here, because he does have the ability to sequence break Meridia, and it's showing off just what you can do with these dash seeds.
Yeah, so we're gonna. This is show. Ooh, Richmond accidentally enraging Pantoon. So this is Fruit's about to show us one of the changes for dash, where these blocks, which are normally speed blocks, you can just shoot them with the Spazer Beam.
Fantoon's pretty red there.
Yep, there's one missile off.
FPS starting his bot wound fight.
Oh, I was hoping he was gonna miss those shots and was gonna have to finish bot one with golden shot.
The Spazer SPA. For those of you that don't know, the high jump boots. For those of you that don't know, the special beam attacks, even though the mini charge beam is only 30% power, special beam attacks will still do full damage.
And so that's why we will occasionally see the Spazer special beam attack, affectionately nicknamed Golden Shadow.
I want to see some plasma SPAs. You don't ever see those. And speaking of plasma, there it is on Richmond's screen.
I bet you he's like, why couldn't I have had this before I fought Fantoon?
Fantoon doesn't like to be X-rayed. That is why he is a ghost. It's 'cause he got X-rayed too much. Now he's a ghost. Richman gonna go ahead and save before he goes into the spiky death room of death. It's a place where you go to die to death.
Don't you mean the death room of death?
The spiky death room of life.
Gets it through no problem, and even uses those death spikes to make it faster.
Yeah, Smitty Memories, that's the only way ghosts are made.
Now, Fruitbat doesn't have Plasma Beam or Speed Booster or Grapple, so he will have to ammo kill Dragon.
He is in for, well, he does have Charge Beam, but he is definitely in for a fight here. And Richmond only finding an energy tank, but that's not a bad find considering he's only got the 2 and whatever reserves.
And if Varia happens to be buried, say, at Check Tool, then you're going to want those E-tanks so that way you can just lower north for a Hell Run.
Speaking of Shack Tool, we never saw FPS go check the left sand pit for Varia.
I assume he'll check it on his way out.
We will definitely see.
Or maybe he just hates the location so much that he'll just never go there.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him for hating it after the curses I put upon him with left sand pit.
Meanwhile, while we're watching this race, Maniacal and Zeb are racing on SpeedGaming 1 in another quarterfinal match.
That one's gonna be really good too. So a tricky thing about this goop that FPS is having to shoot here is that if you use a power bomb to clear the goop will not give you any drops at all. So if you're running out of ammo, you basically do have to shoot the goop, which can be a little bit hard to do.
Richmond making good use of that spring ball to go check the wreck ship reserve item. Only an energy tank, so that bomb sequence break won't be helping him out this.
And Ice Beam over there for Fruitbatsalad, that's going to help out quite a bit in the Metroid room. bombs.
Well, and that's really interesting because that means Speed Booster is the logical access to Dragon, and so we'll have wonder where that is hiding. Could be in bowling, could be in Gauntlet, could be behind Ridley.
Could be in the left sandpit.
Can't be at the plasma beam.
All right, so Richmond taking a walk with the bowler here, turning himself into a Samus bowling ball. This bowler is not very good. You can see he's already walking on the alley. He's going down into the basement, just creating all sorts of
Samus
damage.
is a bowling ball, not a bowling pin.
And then the bowler just drops the bowling bar, breaks the ground.
Oof, completely empty.
Dodge that E-tank. That wrecked ship was not nice to Richmond at all. So now here's the question: if FPS goes up to wreck ship, I could see where he might full clear that because he doesn't have Varia yet.
Also does not have near enough energy to lower Norfair Hell Run, but he's got, with the gravity suit, will be able to fairly easily clear out the Bubble Mountain Hell Runs, so it's pretty even. I would say with where he is, he'll go down.
How many reserve tanks did they pick up?
They've seen 3, but I believe Fruit only grabbed 1.
Okay. Meanwhile, Richmond going through Gauntlet. I'm so glad there was a suit down here this seed.
It was just you predicted the wrong one.
I did. I predicted the wrong suit. All right. So FBS having his various suit. He's probably just gonna go straight down to Ridley at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh gosh, FBS, be careful.
I'm gonna manually. Well, he has 2 reserves.
I didn't see what Richmond found back there.
Wave
and,
beam.
It was wave beam. Okay. Ohio, everybody, get those wave emotes out in chat. Every time Richmond fires, he will be wave beaming at you.
But also trying to kill you with plasma.
And Rich not bothering with the back half gun. I don't blame him. That's going to be just as ammo.
So that sequence break definitely paying off for Fruitbat, because with finding Varia, the seed may have wanted you to get gravity, go to Varia, and then get Speed Booster somewhere down here, and then go back up later.
I suspect Rich, well, because he can't go into the back door from Meridia like that, so I was going to guess that he was going to go back into Meridia, but with him having to go through the tube area, I think he might just go down into Norfair and do the heck runs with gravity suit.
And he doesn't have the ability to sequence break yet because Spazer was at Business Center. But he is going to go check the X-ray room. Interesting.
This X-ray check always gives me heart attacks when you don't have space jump or grapple.
And I don't think it's actually in logic right now.
No, not without a way to get across.
Well, I don't know about this, but I believe the randomizer league, if you have Varia suit and enough health, it's in logic with bombs.
Unless they updated that for the total randomizer stuff, I don't think that would be in logic here. But either way, Richmond's going to check it. That's not going to stop him, whether it's in logic or not. So we will see what's on the other side here once he gets across. Meanwhile, FBS going through speed and finding space jump. And it's looking like Rich is gonna either abandon this or reset the room. And I certainly don't blame him. It's looking like he's just gonna abandon him, or abandon the check there.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart move. It's not in logic.
I think I'm of the opinion that if you're having a little bit of trouble getting a trick or getting into an area, you might as well just move on as opposed to continuing to bash your head against the wall. So I really like that he's moving on from it.
It does choose to head down. So far, Fruitbat. Space jump definitely useful. What do you think he's hunting for his majors?
I could see him looking for charge beam. I could see him looking for some more miners. Without having charge beam here, and only 15 supers, that's going to be a long Ridley fight for him.
Yeah.
So he's probably looking for a couple more supers, or charge beam, maybe even speed. But my guess would be charge and some miners. And there's that Spazer for Richman.
Hack Attack definitely defending her throne today. So we'll have to see, does Richmond make the play to head into Meridia, or does he keep on hell running?
I think he's going to continue on with the heck runs.
At the very least, gonna go check the ice room.
I think he's going to continue on with him because he's already here and he does have that 50% damage reduction. Even if he didn't have that, he has enough energy to do the heck runs at this point. And there's Charge Beam up there in the ice pallet.
Ooh, Fruitbat isolated that one pretty hard. I can't really see.
I can't see him going back for that at this point. He's on his way down to Lower North Fair. He is moving with a purpose.
So we got an interesting dynamic here where Richmond now doesn't have the ice beam yet, but when he goes through Meridia, we'll be able to microwave both bosses at full power.
Yes, that's a really good point. That charge beam is going to be super huge for Richmond. We've seen in a few matches today already, including the Hero vs. Zeus match, just how important beam combos can be.
Unfortunately, he's making the decision to head towards the Bubble Mountain area, which we know is not going to provide him what he's looking for.
He's absolutely going to have to go up to Meridia for that. Down to my favorite viewer location.
So he'll have the better movement, he'll have the better damage, but I'm not sure that his route is going to let him catch up to Fruitbat.
And at this point, I'm pretty convinced FBS is looking for charge beam, and basically just that. But we know he's not going to find it.
Yeah.
Still, though, he will take E-tanks, and I don't blame him on that, especially with the fights coming up. You want as much health as possible. Richmond heading up to the Bubble Mountain Reserve. Oh, it gets boosted the wrong way.
Yeah, the waiver was messing with his patterns.
He does not have high jump boots, so he doesn't have good setup for the wall jump. I don't actually think you can do that wall jump without high jump boots. You could spring ball jump it though, maybe.
Fruitbat making quick work of worst room in the game. Having screw attack and space jump always helps.
Yeah, and there he goes and tries the wall jump, and realizing that he's gonna have to have high jump boots. So how IBJs work, for those that don't or might not know, is that if you once you get it going, and you can do it from a ground position, you don't have to do it from a jumping position. It's just the jumping position gives you that initial height, but it's one bomb lay every second from when like you lay the bomb, you count 1001, and then you lay your next bomb. And then once you're already in the air, you can just basically lay the bomb like right on top of the bomb that you're jumping off of when you get back down to it, and that'll go ahead and get you on up there.
I always find it extremely impressive when the runners do the double bomb jumps, where they actually don't use the first bomb they laid and they lay two for each jump, but the timing on that is really tough.
Yes, fun fact, if you mash the button for laying and lay bombs like that, if you mash that, you can get perfect double bomb jumps every time.
And the one-shot croc kill with the moonwalk by Rich.
He's gonna go ahead and walk the croc. And we know there's not gonna be anything over here that he's gonna really want to see. Yep, just an easy thing. FPS picking up those power bombs, getting them to 25 total.
Last time we had the slightly helpful missiles. This time I think it's still power bombs of shame. They aren't useful.
FPS with the shameful run by picking up those power bombs. Jokes aside, though, these metal pirates, no joke, and he will take those out with 3 supers. You're right, Mini-Mimmies, no shame, only love. They are now the power bombs of love. So FPS,
yes, we shall express our love towards Ridley by planting high-powered explosives in his face.
I like that. Richmond still checking on grapple here. He's gonna have to IBJ his way. I don't know if he has enough. I don't know if a spring ball jump would be enough to get him up there. And
there we go.
He's got the good start of it. It's just got to maintain it.
That was one of the things that made me so sad about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, is in Melee, you could do this bomb jump. There's the speed booster. So, oh boy, is that Spazer speed sequence break giving Fruitbat an edge.
Yeah, it has. Oh, and some of those missiles going through Ridley out the other end. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any SBAs here against Ridley.
I'll have to ask him. I actually think the SBAs would be a useful way to get damage in here.
Ridley's tail has a tendency to block a lot of things. So you could very easily get half your SBA blocked.
Because Power Bomb, I don't know the damage differential between a double Power Bomb hit and a full SBA hit from Ice Shield or Golden Shower.
So Ice Shield is only going to do, from my understanding, Ice Shield, each one of those little beams going around for the shield is basically just one charge Ice Beam. Whatever that damage number is. Do Power Bombs do 400? I thought they did, or 400 each. I thought they did 200 against Ridley.
I think they do 200, but they double hit, so 400 per Power Bomb.
Well, that's why I thought they did 400 because it hits and then it hits again.
Super Metroid damage tables are complicated.
Yeah, they are. Meanwhile, Richmond going through his tech runs up into the Bubble Mountain area. Each ice particle is 90. That's what I thought. Woody coming in with the knowledge.
So yes, a double power bomb hit does more than a full ice shield hit.
When you
So
say
space
each particle, Woody, is that the grouping or is that each little individual one?
Either way, Fruitbat finishes taking Ridley down. Rewarded with a vanilla E-Tank.
Rich continuing on after picking up his space jump.
Yeah, so Fruit's gonna have a big advantage here, only having to kill Fantoon and leave the ship, not having to check a single item. Still might. Probably, I would expect to see a right side super check, assuming that they don't do the ice check on the way out.
Richmond picking up that E-Tank.
So Richmond has an interesting choice here. He can try to do lower Norfair hell runs, but I don't know if he really has the energy to do that. One Crystal Flash.
I forget where Charge Beam was. Where was that? That had to be up in Rex
Ice
Ship,
Beam.
yeah.
No, it was Ice Beam.
Oh, that's right. It was Ice Beam.
Looks like Richmond deciding to take the safe route. Ooh, Fruitbat finds another super pack. That'll be helpful against Mother Brain.
Absolutely. The more ammo he can pump into Mother Brain 2, the better.
So Rich will have a far easier time navigating through Meridia, but in the end, he still has to go all the way down and all the way back up from Lower Norfair. That's a slow journey.
It sure is, but still though, this match is not over yet. Super Metroid is never over until Mother Brain's head hits that floor.
And even then, you still got to escape.
Absolutely.
Rich showing us some good Meridia movement. We'll see if it'll definitely help out Fruit significantly if... I wonder if he's remembering that he's checking that minor. We'll see if he remembers to check Ice Beam area. That would definitely help him out a lot.
Oh, he doesn't have Wave Beam. That's why he's got to go in reverse. Right. Or speed. You can't go through Frog Speedway without wave or speed.
Yes, those speed blocks were not affected by Spazer. Rich, Mike giving us a microwave snake.
That sounds tasty. And Richmond gonna come over here to pick up those high jump boots. I certainly don't blame him. With the jump height you get from just speed alone, if you can find high jump boots easily, you want to pick them up.
Oh yeah, it definitely helps. Ooh, almost.
Keeps the halfie, unfortunate.
Interesting that Fruitbat is checking all of these minors, but not the... I guess there's so many majors left that he's thinking that they're... Because he's got Plasma, Shack Tool, all 4 in the wreck ship, Ice Beam, Waterway. So he's like, I'm just going to go. Croc.
At this point, I mean, he does have mini charge, which isn't going to do as much damage as he'd hope for, but at this point, if he's not finding supers, he's just leaving locations, and that's... I definitely think the good call there. And Richmond doing the microwave strat here on Dragon.
So we had a question in chat. So this is in the dash randomizer. Every runner starts with a baby version of the charge beam that does about 30% damage of normal charge beam shots. So Fruitbat does not actually need to hunt for full ammo. He can go in and it will just be a lot. I think last game we said it takes 100 ice Spazer shots to kill Mother Brain. Yep. So it's going to take 300 ice Spazer shots with the baby charge.
So I believe that's how much it takes for just a regular low percent ice fight, does it not?
Oh, do you think maybe the 100 number is just ice?
No, I think it's I want to say 300 with just
300 for a low percent ice.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much Fruitbat runs low percent. Of course, he'll be able to have 50 missiles, 25 supers, and I absolutely expect to see some SBAs. Because that's going to be a lot more effective than Ice Spazer Shot.
And Richmond going all over heckin' high for this various suit. Going up to Plasma. Unfortunately, going in the opposite direction of the suit he's looking for. I think he's gonna check this and circle around for Shack Tool. But then he's gonna have to go back up to get to, which he would have to ice clip to Shack Tool, which is not easy.
Very much in logic, though.
Very much, and I think that's where he's going with this. Meanwhile,
Fantoon down.
Yeah, let's take down Fantoon. FBS said, I don't need no fanny pack. Those are so 90s. And I'm a little surprised he's not just Fantooning out.
If finding any beam will help him so much.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I don't expect him to check anything besides this one, or maybe Gauntlet. He's going to find that Plasma, and now he's safe to go into Mother Brain.
Yes, Hockey. Varia was at Left Sand Pit, my dream location.
I'm sure Fruitbat has a nice sigh of relief of he would have liked Charge, but Plasma helps. Actually, Plasma might help more than Charge, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah. So Richmond going down sandpit to make his way over to the aqueduct. I totally forgot you could just fall through those through that one sandpit up there to get to aqueduct. And he's going down to the left sandpit, finally gonna find that various suit he's been looking for.
I'm a little sad that Fruit found that plasma. I wanted to see what was going to happen in the fight without it.
I very much have a just mini charge mother brain fight dream. Because that's like an 800 shot fight, and I really want to see someone do that. Not me. I want to see one of these runners do it. I want to watch it. Rich gonna be making his way down to Lower Norfolk to fight Ridley and then go to Mother Brain.
Rich having a pretty full loadout now. I'm guessing Grapple is at Shack Tool.
I didn't even think about what could be there.
I believe that's our only location left.
What all did he... Oh, he turned off Spring Ball, okay. Spring Ball and Screw. Yes, Waterway is also available. I don't think either of the runners checked Waterway. And there's still a crud ton of E-tanks out there too, so...
Fruit back getting the nice grouping strat.
Very nice room there from Richmond. That's just not an easy room. I want to point out how smooth that Metroid Room 3 was from FPS, considering he uses item select on select.
We'll see if he goes for the baby skip. Probably not without wave. It's pretty hard to get without the wave beam.
Yeah, he's just gonna skip that. And Richmond, yeah, he does have screw attack in space, so no need for fast pillars there. Go ahead and jump through him. That blue door didn't know what hit it when that missile got to it. Ooh, Rich having some issues with that spin jump there. Takes a couple of hits and a few E-tanks with the damage. Still has 4 though. That's
Lower Norfair enemies hurt.
4 E-tanks being more than enough though for Richmond. So a little trick I learned a while back from Hero actually is that when you're fighting Mother Brain 3, you can do this with Ridley too for the color change, but when you're fighting, I'm sorry, Mother Brain 2, when she starts to throw, like, you don't really need to count your shots. Once she starts throwing ketchup, it's, I want to say 12 to 15 supers after that and she'll be finished off. Those turrets had it out for FPS there. FPS starting his Mother Brain fight while Richmond is about to be starting his fight. Now with Ridley, again, you don't have to count shots once he turns red, it's 15 supers at that point and he'll be down. But with the beam combo that he has, he only needs to fire 20 charge wave ice plasma shots into Ridley.
So that baby charge beam coming in handy.
And there we see Richmond doing just that, using those supers on Ridley after he turns red. Ridley being a bit stubborn about dying, though. And that is a dead space pelican.
I like to call him a space pigeon.
Space pigeon. Richmond going to be making his way up to Torian and Mother Brain. Meanwhile, FBS in that catch-up phase and opting not to do stand-up. I don't think he had the health for it, though. I think he took some damage that prevented that.
Well, also with his beam combination, I'm not sure stand-up actually saves time.
No, not at all with a 30% charge shot. Mother Brain with that nice sepia tone there. I think she pulls it off nicely. I think it's her color.
Especially with the contrasting purple smoke.
Yeah.
SNES color palettes are always quite gorgeous.
Richmond going through the three musketeers there. Nice and easily with screw attack and plasma for the iframes. And as the baby Metroid dies, Samus will get Hyper Beam. I'll tell you what, though, with how long it took Richmond to get to that sandpit and find Varia, he is not far behind Fruitbat. So,
No, not at all. Only about 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But Fruitbat definitely showing off what you can do with the dash randomizer with this new sequence.
Yeah, those came in really, really handy. And that's right, he does not have speed boosters, so he's going to have to go the long way. And we'll see if FBS decides to save the animals or not. I would wager he's not going to.
No way.
That's not a thing FBS would do. Ooh, and y'all see that? Richmond got the amazing springboard jump. Oh, someone clipped that. That is a hog jam. Oh. The foosball, exactly. I thought I was the only one that called it that, Toasty. I'm not gonna lie. I've always called it that. People are like, what are you talking about? And FBS has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 57:43. GG to Dr. Batsalad.
GG.
We will see if he comes in for an interview. If he decides to grace us with his presence. And Richmond picking up that reserve tank that he skipped over earlier. Getting that nice troll tank. I'm telling you, we need to change the reserve tank sprite to Seffi's emote because it's just perfect for situations like that. And Richmond starting Torian here. Kind of blazing on through the first room onto the second room.
And so with Fruitbatsalad's victory, he will be moving on to the semifinals. Over on SpeedGaming 1, it was Maniacal versus Zeb316. And spoilers, Maniacal won that race. Very close race, minute differential between the two players, simultaneous mother brain fights. So GG to Maniacal. And so
I think FBS will face Maniacal. That's a match, like, you don't want to miss any of these matches, but this is going to be a match none of y'all are really going to. Richmond setting up for his baby skip here. Let's see if he gets it or if he decides to get the baby skip. And it looks like we have a Dr. Batsalad here. How you doing? GG.
How's it going?
Pretty
Thank you
good.
for the TG.
How are you feeling about that run?
That was a weird seed. I felt like that was a really weird run. It worked out, but I don't know. That was a weird one.
So I'm sure you know, but I called for Gravity to be in left sandpit. It wasn't. But we got Varia in left sandpit, so all was not lost. How were you feeling when you found Varia down there?
We're doing commentary, so I knew that you would call a suit being at left sandpit. Yeah, it worked out. I think Varia was at left sandpit in one of the qualifiers too, if I remember right.
Yep, it sure was.
But yeah, that was fun. So in that seed, I felt really low on energy for like the first half of the run.
Yes.
I think I only had 2 E-tanks for a really long time.
Yeah, absolutely. You and Rich both.
So where do you think Booster was?
Let's see.
Right, you obviously did end up sequence breaking, using that nice Spazer feature.
So yeah, there were a lot of things I skipped. I think I never actually checked Ice Beam, so it might have been there.
That was where Charge Beam was.
Oh, that would have been nice.
We were so excited for you to try to go into Mother Brain with only Ice Spazer and try to see what you would do.
You know what? I was going to do it. I was going to check a couple more miners on the way. I was probably going to check Gauntlet, and then I was just going to go because, I don't know. I was running out of options. You know, I didn't want to go too far out of the way.
Your sequence breaking of using Spazer to get into Meridia, that was, I think, the real decider for this game. That was a big help for you.
Else did we both go down Red Tower?
Yes. Yeah, you both went down red
Okay.
tower, and then Richmond actually, I don't think he had Spazer.
Yeah, the big difference
because he went
was
up to wreck ship.
after you guys found gravity at Crate E-Tank, Richmond went into Meridia to just use it to get to the wreck ship,
Oh,
full
yeah.
cleared wreck ship, whereas you went down, found Spazer, and then turned back around and went.
I could see skipping all of Norfair, like after you finish Crate and you already have Gravity Suit going into Meridia. That makes sense. I was planning to just go in and check the first 2 items in Norfair, and I wound up only checking one of them because I was so low on energy. I didn't want to do the Hell Run to get Ice Beam. So I probably didn't manage my energy as well as I could have, and if I had more energy, I would have gone to Ice Beam, and I guess you're saying it was charge. So, yeah.
Realistically, though, that was a really, like you said, weird seed, and to try and manage your health on just the 2 E-tanks and whatever reserve tanks you had, that was definitely not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, the energy was, it felt weird because of the energy, and then I don't know, like just for me, the route that I did, not having charge beam, like I was constantly worried about my firepower, and then I had really slow boss fights. Like my Ridley fight was really weird because I used mostly power bombs, and my Dragon fight was just an ammo fight, and yeah, so that was like I don't ever really practice doing Ridley that way, but I just I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna use power bombs.
So you found power bombs at the Power Bomb of Shame location, and we've now renamed it from the Power Bombs of Shame to the Power Bombs of Love, which made it, as opposed to a shameful run, a loving run, because you got to put those power bombs into Ridley's face.
Showing Ridley a little bit of love, right?
Yeah.
Love
like
through the
20
power
or
of
25.
high-powered explosives.
Be heart-shaped instead of whatever they are, hamburgers.
So if you hadn't end up finding the plasma beam, do you feel like you would have started to utilize some of the special beam attack?
I mean, I guess, what did I have? Just like Ice and Spazer, right? So,
Yeah.
You would have found Wave at Gauntlet, but
I'm gonna say, if I didn't find plasma right when I found it, my next move would have been to check the left side supers, that miner location. And then I would have been just trying to collect some miners on the way to G4. I probably would have checked the ocean missiles, and then I would have checked Gauntlet and, both of the items at the back of Gauntlet. And, but, I had the starter charge beam, so if I had to, I could do like a, whatever, couple of hundred charge shots, I guess. But it would almost be like low percent, except I had 7 E-tanks. So like I've done low percent before, but in low percent you only have 3 E-tanks. So like I feel like I could have done it if I had to, but it would have been really slow and I might have died. It would have been close.
We were actually discussing that when you were going in, just before you found plasma, that with just mini charge Ice and Spazer, that's about the same as normal low percent ice fight, yeah?
I was estimating in my head that it would be like roughly the same, because I knew that I would have some missiles and some supers. I just wasn't sure like exactly what the numbers would work out to. But yeah, I was thinking it would be like similar to low percent ice.
So the special beam attacks do full damage, even with the baby charge beam. Do you think that's something where those are useful to use in certain fights, or do you think that it's just never really worth it?
Yeah, like I don't know if I would want to do that in the middle of a race without practicing it first. But I think like if with a little bit of practice, like that would be a really good idea, because I think in Dash you tend to get a lot of power bombs, and like you're talking about Mother Brain too. So trying to use like the Spazer SBA or any of the other ones, like yeah, I think that could help with a little bit of practice.
And as a note, we have GG to Richman3mm. He has done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 38 seconds, finishing in second place. Y'all, make sure you go follow those runners. Make sure you follow my co-commentator here, Linares. Make sure you follow the tracker, Cassidy. Don't worry about following me. I'm not important here. and we'll see if Richmond decides to come in for an interview.
Cool. Well, I think I'm going to head out. I'm going to say GG to Richman, and thank you, Poppy and Lunaris, for the commentary. And
You'll be facing Maniacal next, so good luck.
Yep.
How that went. So Maniacal beat Zeb.
Yep.
Yep.
And I am looking forward to this one.
Super stoked to run against Maniacal. He's gonna be a really tough opponent. So I'm just happy to be able to face him. I don't think I'll get past that one, but it'll be fun to do that race. All right, so I'm gonna head out, and thank you again, and I'll see you later.
Yeah, and y'all,
see you next mission.
Yes, while we're still here, I do want to remind you all tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to have a crowd control race between Antinomy, aka Suffy, and Galamaz. The proceeds from that are going to go to funding the tournament prize pool at SpeedGaming Live. So, you know, make sure you're there. It's going to be very, very fun to troll those runners.
And make sure to stay tuned here. We have coming up next Woody versus Sloters on SpeedGaming 4. And then we will have Shiny Zenny versus Zost on SpeedGaming.
Yes, and you all have a great day. Make sure that you're not randomizing these channels up in the address bar, because you want to make sure you catch all the action. I am Poplars, and I will see you all next mission.